Welcome back to the Fantasy Hockey Podcast and Building Winners. It's Sunday morning. So today, what are we going to do? We're going to go over how the matchups are going so far, see how Saturday went, and also we're going to start to prep for next week and take a look at the waiver wire and see who's available and who I might be thinking of putting in a claim for next week and start to prep a little bit to max starts out. So let's start out with the league that matters the most this week, that really close matchup in ECFHL. So that one right now is 5-2. It's looking pretty good for me. I'm up. I'm one goal away. I have 10 games remaining. They have 11. They have Leonard going today, and I have Hellebuck going today. So it'll be a battle of goaltenders for the wins. I'm going to hope that Hellebuck can pull out a win versus Dallas, and Leonard gets roasted versus Toronto. That'll be my hope. Chicago sucks. I think they can get beat by Toronto. Toronto did lose Marner, so that might be something in my favor there. And then as far as how my team did, let's take a look at how my team did on Saturday. They did okay. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but it was fine. Pietrangelo, huge game first game for me in a trade. 2 assists, 2 power play points, 3 shots on goal. Can't ask for more than that. So I'm happy with how that's going there. Pietrangelo won that. Schultz sucks. We'll talk about whether I'm thinking of dumping him or not. It's just he's been so disappointing on the top power play. And no matter how much time they give him, he just hasn't really done much in a while now. He seems to do more with less time. It's really weird. Timo Meier has picked it up a ton. He's now on a 3-game point streak. Like we said, Timo Meier was cold. He got 20 minutes last night. His peripherals are just insane. He's now back into the top 100. It's crazy that all it took was a 3-game point streak for him to get back into the top 100. So I am still very high on Timo Meier, and I feel like I definitely bought low there. Brady Tkachuk continues to be a beast. The fact that I got him 5th round, 4th pick, 52nd overall, which is essentially in a keeper league, that's insanely low because that doesn't count. That's 5th round, 5 keepers, so it's really 10th round. The fact that I got Brady Tkachuk in what's essentially the 10th round is just absolute insanity in a league like this. So I'm stoked that I have him. And yeah, not too much else yesterday. Didn't have any goalies go. Luckily, I will have Hellebuck going today. So it's going to be hard to tank this save percentage. I'm actually still I'm not really competitive in saves. I mean, I would need Leonard to get pulled today for that to be even competitive. I got really lucky yesterday. They benched Thomas Greiss. So because they benched Greiss, I am still in it for wins, which is huge for me. So that could be good. And I'm only 1 goal away. We're tied in blocks at the moment. He does have people going today. Let's see. Let's take a look. So Heiskanen, Pionk, Wheeler. So a few guys that can block, but I think I've got more guys that can block than they do in terms of Ronick. Actually, I guess I don't, do I? That's a little disappointing, but that's okay. We'll see what happens. I'll probably end up losing blocks, but I think hopefully I can take wins. Hopefully I can take goals. If we look at Yahoo's stat tracker here, let's take a look at how I'm doing in the league. So I'm towards the top in games played, which I knew would happen. I kind of planned for that. It's actually pretty crazy that he's close in certain categories. He only has 35 games started as skater starts to my 44. And I'm up there. I'm in the middle in goals, at the top of the league in assists, towards the top of the league in power play points. Not exactly the top, but close. Shots on goal, way at the top. Hits at the top. Blocks kind of in the middle of the pack. And we're kind of equal right here in that regard. And then for shots, I'm just happy that I kind of pulled away there, and my team is crushing in shots. My goaltending is phenomenal from a save percentage perspective. Kind of expected that with a Hellebuck and a Andrei Vasilevsky. It's kind of what you expect week to week. Starts are going to be one thing that I'll have to watch, especially this coming week, as Vasilevsky only has 2 games. So as far as like this coming week, I'm not going to go too much into that. I'll save that for tomorrow's Monday episode. But just to give you an idea of kind of what I'll look at today, because it's next day ad, I can put in claims today and have people for tomorrow. So the first person I'm going to watch for sure is Mark Borowiecki. I don't really need hits too much, but just from a start perspective, that's a really good grab. Vladislav Nemesnikov is a good one. He's only playing like 15 minutes a game, but it does fluctuate. Like, you got 19, 18, 17. It's just all over the place, and with their 4 off nights, that could be huge. Anthony Duclair is probably my favorite grab of the week. If I could get Anthony Duclair, that'll be good, so I'll definitely be in on Duclair and try to get that. Zaitsev is another one. I'm pretty fine in blocks, though. I'll go over tomorrow, obviously, like who who I'm playing and see how their teams match up, because I'll obviously want to address that. And then I think one of my favorite defenders to grab, actually, and who I'm thinking of maybe swapping for Justin Schultz, is Jacob Chikrin. He's actually on the top power play right now in Arizona. Arizona has a fantastic schedule next week, and he's actually getting really, really good shot peripherals. So I think the person I'm debating swapping with Justin Schultz is actually Jacob Chikrin. And so that's probably the defenseman I'm eyeing. And then if the guy I'm playing next week, or person I'm playing next week, has a lot of hits, then I'd probably go after Borietzky. If the person I'm going after next week, I'm first in hits in the league by quite a margin. If the person I'm playing does not have a lot of hits, I'll go Chikrin instead. Although Chikrin may be the better long-term option at this point, just given how well he's playing, and he's honestly flying pretty under the radar. You'll hear about him more on our week preview for sure. And other than that, like those are kind of the guys I'm watching the most, is these Arizona and Ottawa guys. I feel like I'm doing fine in starts for the next week. But again, we'll dive into that deeper tomorrow. Okay, so now the points league. I'm going here because I made an ad yesterday. If you remember, I'd put in a waiver claim for Jacob Trouba, and it worked. We got Jacob Trouba for Sami Vatanen, so that's really big for us. I think that's going to be a really good ad. I'm actually surprised that nobody else put in a bid for Trouba. That's one of the nice things, actually, of being towards the bottom of the waiver wire, is you're not afraid to actually put in claims for players. I tend to think that waiver position is a little overrated anyways. I'm not that big on waiver. I mean, know your league, right? Like, I know this league, and I know that normally big name players, as I'm picking up Jacob Trouba, don't get dropped as often. And so because big name players don't get dropped as often, I don't think waiver claims are as valuable, or waiver position is as valuable. And that's why I took a chance on Dubnyk. But that's a big thing, I think, in your league, is like, know your league. If you know that big name players get dropped every single season, then a waiver position is valuable. If you know that your league is not one of those leagues that dumps big name players, then waiver position isn't that valuable, and you'd just be better off getting the players that you want to get. And so for me in this situation, I was 11th waiver. I don't care about climbing the waivers over the season. I'd just rather get Jacob Trouba, and he's a high upside guy, I think, in my opinion. That right now, for example, like I have a Justin Schultz on my roster, and if eventually I want to dump Schultz, then I'm gonna have Jacob Trouba now. And same as in ECFHL, I'm gonna be eyeing Jacob Chikrin in this league as well. So how did Saturday go? I'm still at a 111 point projection. Did go down a little bit because of Sami Vatanen. They'd need to have an insane day. I mean, absolutely insane day to be able to even get close to catching me. I don't think they will. They haven't. I guess they have to bench Pavelski, which is fine. I'm not very scared of Pavelski. They do have Ben Bishop going. I should have Markstrom going. I'm pretty sure Markstrom will play today against New Jersey, which will be good for me. But Saturday went pretty well, actually. I had a good skater day. I actually was positive in goaltenders for once. Bobrovsky got a 4.5. Huge game from him. He looked fantastic. Passed the eye test with flying colors. And on top of that, also passed actual stat numbers with flying colors. So he's actually been pretty good recently. Had this one bad game, but if you don't count this one bad game here against Washington, he's been pretty lights out. And so I've been happy with Bob recently. He seems to have turned a corner from a team perspective. Carey Price had a really big game, got a win. It was against LA. I would have liked to not have those 2 goals against, but still a good game. He outdid their Holtby, which is kind of what I wanted. And Bobrovsky kind of nullifies a massive game from Bishop, unless of course he gets like a shutout. But then this skater nullification here is huge for me too. So did really well in the peripherals, 30, 12, 11. They only got 24, 4, 6. This is shots, hits, and blocks. And on top of that, I got some pretty good points. So Timo Meier, Cam Atkinson, Giordano, Hamilton. Hamilton continues to shoot like crazy, which is amazing. 6-7-4 in his last 3 games. That's awesome to see. Justin Schultz, of course, doing nothing, but I think we'll probably look at doing a swap there for Jacob Chikrin. And then on Monday, I'll get Jacob Trouba, so that'll be good. And then today, I have Kyle Connor, Alexander Barkov, David Pastrnak going. So some big names, and Barkov gets the Rangers, which should be an easy game, and Pastrnak should be able to do stuff against Philadelphia on a back-to-back. So I feel good about where I'm at in this league. And if we take a look at where I'm at in the live standings right now, I'm currently sitting 5th. If I can get a few more points, I can probably jump into 4th potentially. But it's close. It's a tight race. There's, these are 4-1 3-2. I wish I would have won that match against GCT. It would have made things way closer, but whatever. We'll get him next time. And then if we take a look at the league stats and how I'm doing right now, middle of the pack in terms of starts. The team I'm playing right now is this one right here with 30, so pretty even. Third in goals, up there in assists, not the best of the best. Game-winning goals, only 1. I'm second in shots on goal. Kind of middle of the pack for blocks and hits, just fine. For goaltenders, bottom in wins, but top in saves. And that's really what you want. I have the most goals against, but I have so many saves that it doesn't really matter. The saves kind of outdo the goals against in this situation. Oh, Hockrus. So I am down 6-2 at the moment. It's not pretty. It sucks. I mean, it's so close too. This matchup is ridiculously close. It's closer than this score indicates. Look at the shots on goal, 102 to 112. I'm actually surprised I'm still in this. If you watched Friday's update, I was really behind. And the fact that I even have just caught up is insane to me. And I have some big shooters going today, so I should have a chance. I mean, if Palmieri can have a big shooting game, if Huberdeau can have a big shooting game, I could definitely catch. But they have a lot of skaters going. I mean, they have some big shooters going too. I mean, Barkov shoots a lot. Jonathan Toews, when he wants to, can shoot a lot. So I think I lose shots on goal. Power play points, I made it competitive, which is I'm proud of. I was really down in power play points at one point. Pims I could probably take, but I don't really have Pim guys going today, which is kind of unfortunate. I mean, Wheeler sometimes get Pims, but I wouldn't bank on it. Palmieri, I kind of hope he fights someone, but I doubt it. Morrissey isn't really a big Pim guy. Clefbaum isn't a big Pim guy, so there's a chance that like I lose Pims, which kind of sucks, given that it's tied and they have some guys that get a lot of Pims, just will occasionally get Pims. So that's somewhat disappointing. Assists I could catch if they have a quiet night. I mean, really, what I've got to hope for here is a quiet night from their team. I mean, their team has been lights out. You can look at everyone, and they've been just unbelievable. Willie Nylander, Barkov, Ryan O'Reilly, Connor McDavid, Kevin Shattenkirk having 3 assists. Like, come on. Torrey Krug, Dadonov actually doing stuff for once. So they've just been really good. I mean, honestly, I can't complain. Like, my team has also just kind of gone off. I mean, Carlson has 5 points. It's really like these no Doughty points, no Heishier points, no Palmieri points. That's kind of what really killed me there, I think, was just Skinner doing really close to nothing there. That's really what hurt me. And from a goaltending standpoint, they were just lights out. Again, the second week in a row, I just get absolutely destroyed from these goalies are so amazing standpoint. So not too much to look at there. I think from like a dropping perspective, we'll be looking at dropping potentially. This team is hard. It's hard. There's not many people that are worth dropping. I might be able to drop Clefbaum. He might be droppable for like a Chikrin, I think, if I want to go after power play points more and have a bunch of players that are top power play. That might be the smart thing to do. Nico Hischier eventually might be droppable if, like, let's say when Philip Grubauer gets healthy again. I do like this Markstrom Demko stack for the moment. Yeah, I mean, I feel fine. I mean, Nemesnikov is a good option, but I'd rather have like a Chikrin or something like that. If Chikrin's even available, he might have actually been taken. I haven't checked that yet. And then looking at the league itself and how I'm doing across the league, I'm towards the top in starts. They outstarted me. They have 41 to my 39 skaters. Tied in goals and second for goals. That's always hard, right? It's close for goals right now, actually. I mean, 12 right here is 9. Brandon has Bill Krause KOs. He has 8 and 11, so the goals are close in general. I'm up there. So Big Willie Style, who I'm playing, is second assists, and I'm right there with him. To be 2 assists away and he's at the top is awesome. Like I've said before, like losses like that, I'll take. For Pims, kind of in the middle, which is fine. Power play points in the middle, not fantastic. They're top in power play points, so that's tough. Shots on goal, they're top in the league. I'm right there towards the top. So again, just one of those things where, damn, some luck there. I've paid attention to this every single week. Big Willie Style has not been towards the top in shots every single week. So this is definitely kind of a luck thing for him to an extent. Destroying them in hits, blocks, I'm at the top of the league in. So this is another reason why when I look at Clefbaum, I'm like, I might not need Clefbaum given that I'm at the top of the league in blocks. And pretty commanding, like I have a pretty commanding lead in blocks there. So that's what I got to pay attention to. And this is what you want from goaltending pretty much every week is you kind of want to be in the middle. I don't really care about being towards the top. I don't also want to be towards the bottom. I just kind of want to be in the middle. And so that's where it's at. And from a live standings perspective, right now I'd be in second, down by 1 point to Brandon. 1 cat win. So it would be 2 points because a cat win is worth 2 points. So I'd be down 2 points, but 1 category win. So if I can sneak out 1 category win today, which would be potentially goals, I could keep that first place spot, which would be very good because I would rather have Brandon not be in first over me. So there you go. Pay attention to tomorrow's. I'll update how these matchups finish. And on top of that, also talk about the pickups that I made, what I'm looking at for the weekend, give a preview to the upcoming matchups. And other than that, thank you for watching. Catch you tomorrow.